All right, ladies, since it is just a class of ladies, right? Um, Young ladies, we're going to talk about social and emotional development today. So you're in your red packet on that infant social and emotional development page. So the first one talks about that infants are born with social instincts. Look at this little baby. Can't tell me that they're not right there. Look, she's so engaged in her mama. They like to be held, and they like to be talked to, and they like to be looked at. So you can write that all in that next line. And I'll just tell you that there's research that tells us too that they move to the rhythm of human language. Their bodies move to that rhythm, whatever kind of language that they're going to be using, and they hear a lot. All right, number two is research shows that infants who are kissed, held, and comforted by their parents and caregivers are healthier and happier. So we've kind of led up to this and talked about that a lot, but they definitely are. Love and attachment and that bonding is so important during those first few years, especially the first few months. Children do best, our research tells us, with both a father figure and a mother figure in the home. It also suggests that infants prefer, I can't remember if I had a thing for this, yeah, that infants prefer their father during playtimes and prefer their mother during more emotional and kind of stressful times, and explain why this may be. So when I learned about this, I got into the research a little bit deeper. I mean, there's kind of reasons that you know why, but there's really three reasons that babies prefer dad during playtimes. It's obvious why they prefer moms during emotional times. Moms are a little bit more emotional. Dads want to kind of fix things. But anyway, the research tells us that they prefer dad for three reasons during playtime. He has more variety to things. Okay, he has a little bit more variety. He also does a little bit more rough and tumble play, a little bit rougher, and kids kind of like that. Maybe you remember, even still, your dad comes around, or grandpa, uncle, and it's just, you get a little rougher, and it's kind of fun. And they also, the third reason is that they allow them to explore. If we were in class, I'd go off and have a little fun with that. I'm sure you can imagine some of the things I would say. But what I will tell you is, since we're all a class of girls, lighten up a little bit. Don't make kids have to, oh, that's not how the song goes. I know my ex-husband, when he wasn't my ex-husband, and he was in the room playing with the kids one day, and I was in the kitchen, and they were just all kind of having fun, and they started singing, I'm being swallowed by a boa constrictor. And this is what I heard from the other room. Oh no, that's too low. Oh no, he swallowed my toe, Oh gee, he's up to my knee, he's up to me. Oh dear, he swallowed my rear. And, you guys know that's not part of the song, right? And that's not part of the song. It's kind of what we want to do. But let me tell you, my kids thought it was the most funny thing they'd ever heard, and they're laughing and giggling. So I just want to tell you guys, lighten up just a little bit, but still be there for them emotionally. If there were guys in the class, I'd talk more about also some things they can do to be able to help their children during stressful and emotional times. All right, number 4, super important that you know this stage. We're going to start to talk about Erik Erikson now, and he has this first stage that is for the infant, and it's called trust versus mistrust. And basically, a child feels trust, or they feel mistrust, and we obviously want them to feel the positive side of this and not the mistrust. So let me explain this to you a little bit.
The morality takes place in relationship to the mother who feeds and who reassures and who cuddles and keeps warm.
Okay, so we've learned from research that it was based on Erik Erikson. You saw him and very, very, very old. Even back then, he was old. But we know now that it's not just the mother, it's also the father. So that helps to build that trust and by meeting their needs and taking care of them. So a lot of what we're going to talk about today is based on attachment and bonding that we talked about when we were in class. So we kind of can go through this a little bit quick. So here we go. On number 5, building trust, having a schedule that the baby can rely on. Remember, this kind of sounds familiar, bonding, right? Attachment. Also being consistent and meeting their needs consistently, and how you respond to things, being consistent that way. Make sure their needs are met. You saw that, they talked about that in the video. Be responsive to what they are needing. Have some good eye contact. We talked about that too. You know what? I don't think we got that far in our study guide. But anyway, good eye contact, looking them directly in the eye. I do know we did talk about that part in class, I remember. Anyway, and touch and how you touch them, and making sure that even that underlying stress that could be inside of you, trying to be as stress-free as possible, learning how to deal with your stress before you ever become a parent, using Parentese, that high-pitched but not baby talk. Okay, so those are all ways, and you can even write some more down if you want. Ask your family what they think are ways that you could help a child feel trust or a baby feel trust. All right, number 6, emotional development is, and this is what you're going to write right here, it deals with children's changing feelings about themselves, others, and the world, because they don't even know how to give thought or meaning to what's going on around them too well, and so they rely a lot on us to help them do that, and that'll make a little bit more sense as we move on later on. Okay, number 7, what is the foundation of successful emotional and social development for a child? It is having a positive home environment where they learn how to establish positive and rewarding and trusting relationships with mom and with dad and with other siblings, that it's pretty stable. That doesn't mean everything's all la 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 every day, but that it's stable and love and kindness permeate most of the time, and there's not anger and hatred and mistrust and doubt, which it leads to. All right, number 8, positive emotions develop from delight to elation. This is kind of when a baby smiles with their whole body. Have you ever seen like a 6-month-old do that? Just they're just elated, and then they learn that really that's affection that they're feeling. That's love. All right, the next one is negative emotions. So on the negative side of his trust is that mistrust or fear, doubt, all these things, is distress, and then anger, and then mistrust, and then fear. And I hope I showed you guys, had you guys watch the video with little Jenny and her mom way back in the bonding and attachment segment, but you can see definitely how Jenny kind of led to this mistrust and to this fear, and that's what she felt, and then mom went in and learned how to do better. Okay, we are now on number 10. When and with whom does the infant develop their first real social relationships? Well, it's obviously with their parents, their family, and then the second part of this is what's on the slide that you see, that infants will smile knowingly by around 4 weeks, 3 to 5 weeks, somewhere in there, but they will smile knowingly. Before they will smile, they may even smile, even almost giggle in their sleep, and maybe you've seen younger babies do that, but it will be knowingly, and it is a definite attachment thing that you recognize that there is some attachment with who they're smiling at. All right, failure to thrive is what happens on number 11 to an infant when they have no one to love and nobody to love them, and they can actually die from a lack of love, as we saw in that video of the Harry Harlow. I hope you guys watched that. If you didn't, this would be a great time to go back and watch it. It's it's a part of the segment that I showed you on sleep. It's just before that, and it's in the nurturing section, and it's an awesome video. If I didn't leave a link for it, you guys let me know, and I will put one up on one in the next videos if you guys let me know if you want a link for it, because it's really, really good. All right, so explain the term failure to thrive is number 12, and basically it means that babies can die from a lack of love. Let's make sure you guys got number 11. What happens to an infant if they have nobody to love them? They have distrust or mistrust, distress, they have failure to respond, and it can lead to failure to thrive. So that was 11. This was number 12. And then we're going to talk about stranger anxiety is exactly what it says. It's an anxiety or a little bit of a fear of an unfamiliar person, somebody that's a stranger. This shows that they have an improved memory. They know who their parents are. They have a bond. It's actually a good thing and it's a normal thing. Now, we don't want it to persist, right? But it is a positive thing. So, dealing with stranger anxiety, I would just say let the child be around the person with you and never force a child to go to somebody, and just let them gradually, get used to them. All right. The next one on number 14, why is consistency so important? Well, these 4 reasons. It allows the child to predict and identify behavior. They know what you're going to do, so they can trust it, right? That's one of the hard things about this COVID-19 right now is we don't know how to predict. And as humans, we don't like that. We don't know how to plan past Friday, May 1st. It's just around the corner. In fact, I think you're supposed to be watching this on the 1st. I'm recording this a couple days before. But anyway, it's hard, and that's hard for humans, especially for babies. So we want them to be able to predict our behavior, and we do that with schedules and responding the same way. And consistency increases that trust. It builds that trust. They know what to expect, and there's no surprises or huge letdowns. They always know what they can count on. Now, you do your best to be consistent. You can't always, but you definitely try. All right, number 15, what is personality? Personality is the total of all traits that are consistent in individuals' behavior. So you can see lots of behavior traits over here: strong, brave, reliable, determined, practical, outspoken, kind, fighter, ambitious, so rich, honest, anyway, uncompromising. These are all parts of different personalities. And personality, we believe, I believe, and most of us who are in this field believe that it's a mix of both. But there are some who are in the genetics camp. Oh, you're all just born with it. Other people say that no, it's all environmental and it's all taught or experienced. And like I said, I believe, and most people do, that it's a little bit of a mix of both. So we have, and we really are born with these, but you can also have the environment affect them, positive or negatively. But these are the 3 basic types of personalities that we teach, usually in psychology and in human development areas. You have heard of people talk about you've got an A, B, or C personality, or you may have had your personality tested and you were a red or a yellow or a white. I don't know if you guys have ever done that. And those are fun. You can get online and take one of those tests right now and see what you are. But I don't require you to do that in class. But very quickly, there's 3 basic personality types. They're sensitive, placid, and aggressive are the 3 basic temperament types. So on the next page, you have nurturing infants or nurturing different temperament types. And the whole reason we even talk about this is because it's important to know what your child's temperament type is so that you can help them to balance it out. Because to be 100% sensitive is not healthy. To be 100% placid, not healthy. To be 100% aggressive, not healthy. We want to kind of balance those things out. So just have some fun with this. Go through and see if you can tell where they belong. Ask your parents what they think. And put the words up there. It's not that big of a deal. I do want you to do it, but I'm not going to do right or wrong. I'll help you do a couple. Like easygoing, definitely going to be placid. Excitable, depends on what kind of excitable you're talking about, but probably aggressive. Independent would be aggressive. Timid, sensitive, loud, probably aggressive, and so forth. One of the things you can put down on there too is aggressive babies tend to sleep less and not need quite as much sleep as your other 2. And the placid definitely sleeps the longest of the 3 temperament types, at least typically in research. So think about what your personality type is, write it down there at the bottom, and if you have a hard time understanding or finding what temperament type you are for sure, think about what you go to first. Ask your parents what maybe they think, or your family members what temperament type they are. Have some fun with this. And like I said, you can look one up online and find out what your temperament type is. So I do expect you to have that done. I'm not going to do right or wrongs, but finish that. Okay, guys, thank you. We're going to turn everything in for this unit now. We're cruising now. Bye, guys.